it's hammer time. In this video, we are going to focus solely on the hammer sling bow system by Simple Shot. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to set up your hammer, whether or not it's with the XT handle or the LT head, or the XT handle with the XT head. And I'm going to show you how to configure them, how to build proper tube systems for both, how to get the best amount of speed and performance out of them, what types of arrows to use, and ultimately how to become extremely accurate with a hammer sling bow. So in this video, which is part one of our GX Slingshots series about the hammer sling bow, we're going to focus exclusively on the tube systems and how to make them and how to prepare those little loops at the back. And in the next round, we'll show you everything you need to know about the arrows, how to aim, your release system, and how to be really accurate with the hammer sling bow. First off, I'm going to show you how to build this tube system for the XT sling bow head. I'm going to use these latex tubes, the premium heavy sling bow tube from Simple Shot. And to make that connection that I do, I'm going to use these plugs, plastic plugs, nylon plugs, and it's got a little hole here and there. And what I'm going to do, I've done one already, take your little nippers and I just cut off this front section so that I'm only left with this bobble at the back. So this is 275 paracord, and this is my jig that I normally use to build this short bowstrings with, but I found that this works even better. So that's about an inch and a half, less than 2 inches section that I've got tightly wrapped there, and then I'm going to start about 3-4 millimeters from each side and just do a serving by hand with BCY 3D serving material. BCY 3D serving material. So the reason why I'm using 275 paracord here is that I have found that the combination between the 275 paracord and this BCY 3D serving is just perfect to loosely nock your arrow. It's got to be looser than with a normal bowstring, but it still needs to keep the arrow in place, because once you fire your sling bow, you want to have an arrow that flies off easily. But you don't want your arrow to be loose. So you see, there is some tension there. So the arrow must come back with your tubes as you draw it. So you need a bit of a retention there, but very slightly. But the 275 paracord is not enough to hold it. So therefore, I'm putting one layer of BCY 3D serving over it. So once you get to the end where you've got about 3 or 4 or 5 millimeters left to serve, then I insert my little looped braided rope just underneath, and I serve over it, do the serving over it, and you still keep on pulling it tightly. It does blacken your hands a bit. It's just the dye in the serving and the black coloring combined with the wax that comes off. So I'm just serving over this rope and I'm pulling tight. And last turn, that's it. And then I'm going to stick the serving through. There you go. Pull it through, retain tension, and then pull through with your rope. Pull it through. Okay, this is served properly, good and tight. There you go. And then once you're done, just come and snip it off. So now my center serving is complete, and I see that it is about 4 centimeters long. So right in the middle of that, I'm going to just do a good and definite mark with a correction pen, the white stuff. And here's the material for the D-loop, and I'm going to cut off another portion of the BCY 3D serving material, but this time only about 40 to 50 centimeters, long enough for me to work with. I'm going to place that on top of the system that I've got lined up here already. Just want to start it off, and I'll show you what it looks like at the beginning. Okay, so now I'm going to use my little braid rope again, and I'm going to serve over it that last 2-3 millimeters up to that point where I want to stop. As I said, that point is going to be about 1 millimeter to 1.5 millimeters before the edge of that white mark, so that I've got enough space for the knock of my arrow to come in with a little bit of extra. You don't want the D-loop to squeeze your arrow knock from the sides. I think that is more than enough. Good. And now I've got to pull this side. Okay. I'm now going to tie in the other end of the D-loop. Okay, so we're almost at the end. And this is where I'm just going to put my looped braid in again to finish it off. And make sure that you get good, nice, tight wraps in, and that your serving is actually nice and tight. One more for good measure. And then I'm going to stick it through the loop. There you go. Let's see. Now I've got these two little loose ends to cut off. My scalpel blade. And now I can actually take this off. Untie this. And you're going to cut this portion off here. And this you're going to trim down a bit. And then I'm going to take my lighter and just melt those ends so that it doesn't slip. And once you've got it melted down, just use your finger to push it flat. And then you just do the other side. Melt it down and push it flat with your finger. And there you have your little D-loop system. Knock the arrow, and there's enough space with the D-loop behind the arrow. And now to attach your two little plastic bobbles that goes into the tube, you want to cut it off just about 3 centimeters after the serving. You want to cut it off. Another cut here. Good. And then with your lighter, just sort of get it together. Just do a sharp little point there, a quick melt and a sharp point. Good. So that you can stick it in from the back. And what you'll have to do is sort of bend it a little bit so that it could come out on the top like that. And then I'm going to nip off that melted portion quickly. Okay. And now you're going to fry it up good. Fry it up as much as you can. About half a centimeter of it. Fry it good. And then bring your lighter and create a nice big melted blob, which will be very strong. Don't melt it down to where it gets brittle. So you just need to melt it so that it's almost still got a little bit of color in it, not too black. It shows very black on camera. Just give it a good blow. Let it quickly cool down so that it doesn't, yeah, it's already cooled down. And now you can push it in. And now it will not come out. There, the bubble is inside and it's not going to come out. And then you do it with this side as well, with the other side. Look, how's that? There you go. Now you can measure it, and it seems more or less the same length. There you have it. And this is your little D-loop system, your string and D-loop system for these thick tubes that comes in this package. So next I'm going to cut off the correct length of this and insert this and tie it on. Right, the next step will be to cut your thick latex tube and to insert this and to tie it on. And for that we're also going to use rubbing alcohol that you buy at the chemist. I know that the length, the total length with a bit of spare of this tube is 22 centimeters for me, for my perfect setup. So I'm going to cut my tube now at 25 centimeters to have a little bit of extra for the attachment and also for this front section, so that I can insert my ball bearing and fit it and then cut the excess off later. There's my two sections of latex, and now I'm just going to put a bit of rubbing alcohol and then insert this. What you typically do, you don't need a lot of rubbing alcohol. I just dip the latex into the bottle, nice and wet. And I have to put my glasses on to see what I'm doing. And now you just start fiddling and pushing until you got it in. It's not too difficult, but yeah, there it goes. Push and massage it until it's in. There it is, one portion in. Now the other side as well. And you want it to go past about a centimeter from the back of the plastic bobble, the plug. I stick this in, dip it into the rubbing alcohol again, and then just push it in there. And now I'm going to massage it and move it along. There. That seems to be enough. And then you leave it for a minute or two to dry, and then I'm going to tie it on, tie it in with amber tape. Okay, now just to finally tie it in and to secure it in place, just going to stick it into the crocodile clamp system and give it a good pull. Doesn't have have to be a lot of tension there. Cut off a decent portion of amber tape, re-stretch it a bit, and I'm going to use the little rope again, braid. Let's just start by going a few turns, and then stick it through again, through the loop, whilst holding your tension. Pull it underneath. Now you can cut off the two loose ends. How's that? And there you have it. Nicely tied on, nicely tied in. I'll do the other side as well. And there you've got your tied loop system. Now I'll just cut the back sections a bit neater with scissors to get it even. So this is how it looks after I've trimmed it at the back. And what you'll do is, obviously I've already got a pair inserted. Just show this, you're gonna stick it in from the back side and then dip it into your rubbing alcohol again, and then you're going to insert a 9.5mm ball bearing inside, and just move it along and rub it into the tube and both sides evenly, and then you can move it up and down to find out what your preferred draw length will be. And don't cut off the tips yet. Leave a longer section sticking out, probably around about there, and move the ball bearing in and out. And only once you found your preferred length at the back, then you can cut it off so that it's more or less even in front. And you always leave about 1 centimeter. The sides even a bit less. There's about 1 centimeter. That's more than enough latex in front of the ball bearing. But once you've used this to move your ball bearing up and down the tube in order to find your draw length, leave it for a few minutes to dry out before you use it, because if you pull your ball bearing, it's going to fly out and your tube is going to come out and you're going to smack yourself in the face, because this is quite a bit of poundage. So next up, I'm going to show you how to make this looped connection so that you can fit in 2 double loops for the Ocularius, the LT head that works with the Ocularius plugs. Ocularius, whatever rocks your boat. But I'm going to show you how to make this little loop here. So here we have the jig again, and I've tied on the one end. Just going to come around and tie this end onto the jig as well. So let's tie in our first loop. Cut off the loose ends. There you go. So one end has been tied in. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off now. As close as possible to the serving, and going to use this section to come around now, and I'm going to just quickly tie it on here. Again, I'm going to use my BCY 3D serving material and do another centimeter to centimeter and a half serving there. Turn. One more perhaps. And then I'm going to just, so I'm at the end of my second loop. Just want to stick this into that point. Still retain good tension and then pull this through. That's indicative of a good serving. I see. Really tight. Cut off my loose ends. There you go. And now I can untie this side. And okay, so now I've tied in the two loops, and I now quickly just need to do the center serving. Now see, give it a good tuck again, just to make sure everything is nicely tied in. Oh, scissors don't work for these types of serving. How's that? So the serving is, center serving is in. Let's test it with the arrow quickly. See that we've got the right tension there. Perfect. It knocks nicely, and there's enough tension to retain it, and it will come off quite easily. Perfect, just the way I like it. And so now we're going to tie in the D loop, but first we need to get our center point. So I just measure from side to side. It's 7.5 centimeters. So at 3.7, I need to make the center mark with my correction pen. And there we've got the center point, and I now know exactly where to tie in the D loop. Okay, now I've got the one side of the D loop tied in. Now just the important portion where you need to measure and make sure you've got just the right amount of loop before you start tying it in. So when you start your last portion, tying in the last portion of the D loop, make sure that that space for the arrow knock is just right, and that there's enough space but not too much. Okay, so there's the D loop tied in, and now I'm just going to cut off this loose section and use my scissors to really trim it down so that there's not a lot sticking out, and just melt down the last little bit of frayed paracord. There, you've got it. There's your connection for the LT head to do this. There you go. So for your double loop system to tie onto this, you can use Simple Shots 2040 or the 1842s or the 7045s. I would suggest you start with a 2040 or a 1842 for the lighter poundages. You'll also get some thicker tubes. The orange and the red ones are a bit thicker, and then you can really make it shorter and up your poundage to about 45 pounds. But let's build a red tube today. I know at a certain length I'll get about 40 pounds out of them. So for my draw length, which is about 83 centimeters, I know I must cut off a 70 centimeter tube for each side, and that will give me around about 40 pounds of draw weight ultimately. So making these double loops, I start off at the one end, stick one through, put it through, and then just check that I've got them in evenly. Just hold them there, pull it back, now check it again. Okay, it's almost even. Need to move this about a millimeter here, Check them now. That seems to be even. Even Stevens. Okay, I've got my center point there. I'm going to grab a little clamp here and clamp them. And I'm just going to tie in the first loop. Okay, so I've got the one end tied in, or the middle, the center point tied in. And what I'll simply do is to come around and tie it in so that the knot that I make remains on the outside here. And I'm just going to do one again, and then I'll come back and do the other one. So now we've created one loop, and we're now going to do the second and last loop here. And you need to make sure that you stick it through exactly the same as the first loop, so that you've got two even loops. Okay, there's my double loop tied in. You just hold it nice and even. Double loop. I've twisted it this slightly, and what I'm going to do is, before I snip this off, I'm just going to tie a little bit more amber tape over this in order to give it a bit more protection. So you need a bit more protection, especially because the whole system will fly forwards and hit the whisker biscuit and all those portions of the hammer sling bow which sits in front, and you really want to protect this section as much as possible so that it lasts as long as it can and you get a decent number of shots out of your double loops. And now we can trim these two loose ends. There you have it, your first loop, double loop. And then we'll just do the other side. So I've now tied in the other side, and there's my two double loops onto my string and the loop system. Let me just hold it for you there. There you go, two double loops. This will give you about 40 pounds at my draw length. So to insert them, make sure you've got your tubes nice and even, and stick both through the opening of the LT handle, one opening. Grab your Ocularis plug, and with those little grooves facing towards the tubes, work your tubes into those grooves, both of them, and then just pull, and there you have it. They're in together, and it seems to be nice and even. And then you just do the other side as well. Move, and then pull it in, and just give it a good pull, and it will seat itself. There you go. And then you can move your plug around to have them evenly set up like that, and give them a twist here, and there you'll see that they are now more or less even Stevens. There you go, and it's good to go. Let's see if a arrow fits in there, and cock vein up, just knock an arrow. Perfect. And now that you've inserted your tubes, you want to see whether or not your measurements and your poundage actually lines up, and whether or not you'll be able to get proper speed out of them. It's about 39 pounds. I wanted to get close to 40, but 38.7 will also do. Now let's see the poundage on the XT. Just let me zero it. Yes, it's zeroed. Did I get it? Yes. 45.74 pounds. It's actually about 46 when I actually got my release on. I've checked it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That will make an arrow fly properly. So stay tuned for our next video with regards to the hammer sling bow. We will discuss everything you need to know with regards to the arrows, the spine, the length, the weight, your release, and how to really shoot that hammer sling bow accurately.